Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 702 8th Street here in Oregon City, located on the backside of the building right by the gas meter, going into a 4-inch cast iron cleanout. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We have water off currently. There's a lot of people in here. We're going to try and keep it that way unless water's necessary, just for the sake of getting a nicer view of things. You may very well need it if it gets too twisty-turny or gunked up. Transitioning here to clay pipe. That appears there to be 4-inch clay. There's almost no diameter change to speak of. And then we have a Y connection here, which is interesting. We're going to go locate this.
There was that one place up the Clackamas, right across.
Alright, so we do have water trickling through that, it looks like, from another source. Well, maybe not. We do have a little water coming from behind us. So we're going to have the neighbor to the left of this building do a flush, or try to anyway. Feels like Abe Lincoln's house. It looks like it. I've been to it before. It's the same color and everything. Or may not be. It's one of those things that can be fleshed out potentially at a different time. So I'll continue onward here and see if we can get any further down the line. Alright, thus far, no action over at the neighbor's house. Just knocked on their door, trying to get someone to do a flush. So this could be one of two different things here, given the era this is. A party line would not totally surprise me. I've seen them plenty of times over the years in Oregon City, in these older neighborhoods anyway. So a couple joints there right after the Y connection are definitely blown. My camera right now is upside down. You've got dirt entering into the sewer line through a couple different joints there. We went from concrete right back over to clay pipe once we got through the Y. Another bad joint there. And they're not necessarily affecting functionality, but they're open to the ground. So obviously it makes the line more susceptible to, like what we're just coming up on right now, or roots. Also hydro erosion issues, where the joints can allow dirt to flow through the sewer line and erode the support out from under the sewer. Thus far, all the pipe on the exterior here has good slope and grade. So this is one of those lines that if you wanted to, if you could keep the configuration, there's nothing about this the city doesn't like, this would be something you could epoxy line if you wanted to. That joint there is also separated. I'm going to go see where we're located here. All right, we're about 2 feet deep here. We're still traversing kind of downhill towards the intersection in the dirt area, kind of between the street curb and the little walking path. We're getting some water turned on right now to hopefully help advance the camera through the line. Well, it looks like some updates have been done here. We're now into 3034 PVC. And there's a very good chance my camera may be stopping up here pretty quick. This is very difficult even with water flow. All right, made it to the main here at about 87 feet. All right, just located the camera head successfully. The line travels down. So as you face the front of the building from 8th Street, the line comes out about basically middle of the building in the front, turns, heads downhill, and then it turns again to shoot off to 8th Street just before the corner of the where the intersection is at. I'm going to pull back and I'm going to locate where the transition joint is to PVC. I think most everything here. I would just check with the city on whether they're not there. If they have any record showing a party line here. I have to think though, based on the fact this is leaving the property, or on this property, crossing the curb on this piece of property, that this stub would likely be this homeowner's. So hopefully this can just remain in its configuration and you can update everything prior to this point right here. Do a blue light system. All right, we're gonna go ahead and reel the camera on out of the sewer line. The line transitions from cast iron to clay just barely beyond the front patio. You'll see a red marking there. Some of these markings, just keep in mind, are a little bit off to where they are, partially because I didn't want to go painting up the walkway, things like that, but by and large, most of them are pretty much on the money. There's a couple where I'm trying to avoid painting things that should not have paint on them. So, but anyway, basically the entire sewer line here on the exterior, as deep as it gets, I want to say is something like 2 foot 4 inches deep. Most of it is around the 2 to 1.5 foot deep realm, extremely shallow. So, and there was a little bit of standing water when we originally ran through the interior. There must have been, unless we haven't come back through it yet, my foot counter reset there a little bit ago. So far here, I have not seen that same standing water. There may have been just some debris in front of my camera damming the pipe up a little bit. That must be the case because I'm just about pulled out of this thing altogether. So I recommend all concrete and clay pipe on the exterior be updated. Essentially every pipe joint on the outside of the home beyond the cast iron is very much open to the ground. You've got plenty of dirt. You've also got roots coming through a few different places here. So it'll be a good time to get it updated. As it sits, as far as just flow goes, the line still has good flow to the main. The concern, though, over time here, as these joints are pulling dirt through them and whatnot, the roots are going to get worse. And you start running the risk of hydro erosion issues taking place. It can cause the line to belly out and become offset. And that happens to a far enough extent, you lose the ability to do something like a trenchless epoxy liner. At the depths these are, as shallow as this is, the liner may not make sense here. It may not be cost effective, but I'd look into all of them. Before even going down that road, though, it really got to figure out whether or not this has a party line out front. Because if you go and start updating, disconnecting things and whatnot, you may very well disconnect, or potentially anyway, disconnect someone else's house's line from the line and cause a bunch of problems. So that needs to be figured out. But beyond that, the line is very ready for update, and all of the repairs go right up to the just shy of the street curb. So this is essentially all under grass and dirt, other than a couple little areas where some walkways and some small rock retaining walls are. After any repairs are done, make sure a rescope is performed to check the work, and you want to do that after the trench is closed, not beforehand, or you're not going to catch any settling issues that may occur. All the cast iron pipe here, all of it is intact. All appears to be in very fair condition for its age and has good flow.